times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig and Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig and Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit craigatzulis.com or call 603-5551-234 for a free consultation. Craig and Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry. Located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Midnight.
7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNH-LP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed residents. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder. WMNH, rip the knob off.
Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no bed because she ready with that water. Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no bed because she ready with that water. I be in the sky, feel like Lou when I'm walking. I can't quit, ever know that never been an option.
Poppin', I don't need security, I'm locked in. Beat it like I'm Drake, this that straight up out of Compton. Watch him, eat it to the bone just like an animal. Rappers say they sick while you witnessing the antidote. Can it though? I can see my future and it's tangible. Told her drink this meat like all her life she been a cannibal. God, all my life I know it's going hard. Laying out these bars as I exercise her jaw. When the money call, I ain't sharing it at all. Hotter than the summer, so they never been a fall.
Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water. Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water.
Wake up in the morning, say your prayers, start my day. What's for breakfast? Oh, that's cake. Won't hesitate to clean my plate. Won't look at me. And you see that God don't make mistakes. I'm stacking for life after death. Ain't no biggie on me, my fate. For the bone of gas, that's that cash. Shorty got that water, that's that drip, drip, splash. I go swimming, skinny dipping with precision is my mission. They say life's what you make it, but that's just the way we living now.
Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water. Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water.
Listen up, I told you once. Never speak on what you see. Now I heard you said too much. It's time to go for a little ride. You're not coming back. You've seen way too much. You're not coming back. You said way too much. Mother left you when you were 10. Father, you have never seen him. A troubled life took you away. Left alone on Judgment Day. You're not coming back. You've seen way too much. You're not coming back. You said way too much. It's got to be. If it ain't you.
I've had that song stuck in my head for a solid week now. That is Not Coming Back by Day to Attend, who were here with us last week. And there's a very specific reason why we played that this morning, which we'll get to in a moment. We have some great guests who we're going to introduce shortly. And to open today's show, this week's show, I should say, we had, of course, the brand new single from Hope the Rapper, as we are in week 7 of our new Hope the Rapper world radio premiere of these new singles from our friend Hope the Rapper. And this one was a collaboration with Oso Cowabunga called Water. To open up Matt Connarton Unleashed on this Saturday morning, July 27, 2024, and here on WMNH 95.3 FM, and I am not alone.
Good morning, sunshine.
Yes, Jenny is here at the news table.
Present and accounted for.
Good morning, good morning. And we have joining us live in studio, and these fine people were spoken about last week by the band because we had Day to Attend here with us in the first hour, and now they are joining us, and we get to speak with them live on the air. We have Sheila and Tony Russo from Paperjam magazine. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Yes, yes. So, yes, it is. And by the way, so you brought us, this is cool. I should hold this up for people watching online, the Girls Rock edition of Paperjam magazine. And for those of you who don't know, so this is a publication. Well, tell us a bit about this. How long has Paperjam existed?
We're in our 3rd year.
Yeah, we're coming up on our 3rd year, about 2.5 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, the way we met was through Day to Attend, because they were our guests in the first hour last week, and they're on the current, the cover of the current edition.
Yeah, they are our cover story for this new issue.
Yes, and they are in the chat room as well. So, in fact, I think it was Tom Siracusa was saying, if I'm saying his last name correctly, that I have great taste in music. I assume because I played the Day to Attend.
Well, you definitely made my morning starting off with that song, because I'm a huge fan of Day to Attend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were talking about that off air. Is it the CD release party is on your birthday?
Yeah. Happy birthday to me, because their new album, World of Zen, Falling Awake, is going to be available on August 3rd.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we played a bunch of their tracks for the first time on the radio when they were here last week, and no, those guys are absolutely amazing. I do want to make sure we say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat because, like I said, you do have some fans in there. Yep, Jeff Richards from Day to Attend in the chat room says hi, Sheila and Tony.
Good morning, guys.
And
good morning.
We love Paperjam, they say. Tom Siracusa says Paperjam in the house. Let's see. Oh, and Anthony Nicastro from Purging Sin.
Yeah, Purging Sin, another great band.
Yeah, they were our guest last week in the second hour.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe they just opened up for Godsmack and Flat Black, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's a big show. Yeah,
that's a big show.
Good for them. They've been around a while. Miriam Banash joins us in the Facebook live chat. She's also going to be joining us today later in the show. She says, excellent song. I assume referring to Not Coming Back. Yeah, that, like I said, that's been stuck in my head for the past week. So I'm glad I had a good excuse to play it again on the show this morning. Let's see. Melanie La Liberty, one of our great friends from the state of Vermont, joins us in the chat room. Daniel Siracusa says, love Day to Attend, seeing them in Drake-it at the boat tonight. Oh, yeah, they were talking about that show. Oh, that must be Tom's brother. Let's see. Yeah. Just want to make sure we didn't miss anybody in here. But, so good morning, everyone who's joining us. And, yeah, so Paperjam. So it's been around for 3 years, you said?
2.5.
Two and a half years? Yeah. Okay. And it's gone through a bit of a transformation, right? Because now, so it had been strictly paper, but now it's also a digital magazine publication.
Yes, that's brand new as of about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
We decided to do a digital version because a lot of people were asking for it.
Yeah.
And so we took some time to think about it and to make the decision. And I'm very happy with the response that we received when people realized they could click the link, click and read the digital version. Yeah. But the paper copies are definitely not going away, right?
No. We'll definitely keep the paper stuff.
That's what we're about. So.
Yeah. That's hence the name.
So now you can choose. Now you can choose. You can get your paper copy, or you can going forward, read a digital version. So.
And by the way, so I suggest people check out paperjammagazine.com. I'm looking at it right now, and we were talking off air. I was complimenting Sheila on her web design because I love the website. It looks really good, and I'm a web design nerd, and I'm very critical of websites, and I see a lot of websites that aren't great. But this one's really good, and like I said, it's perfect for what you're doing. So I suggest everyone check it out. Now, on the website, are all the back issues on the website?
They are.
Oh, wow. Okay. That must have taken a while that must have been a lot of work, I would imagine, to get all of that.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Worth it, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But so the paper version is not going away.
No.
Now, that's what's interesting about that. So I'm really curious about that. So when you decided to start Paperjam, and obviously, as you said, it's called, so the name, it's called that because it's a paper publication.
That's right.
Did anyone try to talk you out of it? And the reason I ask that is because we live in an era where everything is digital, and a lot of publications like newspapers and a lot of magazines over the past 20 years have been gradually going away because they didn't find it to be a sustainable model. And some of them went away. Some of those companies have gone away completely. Yeah. A lot of them now are strictly online.
Right.
So, I mean, did anyone say to you, wow, because honestly, like if I knew you before you started this,
right.
I probably, and you would talk to me about it, I probably would have been like, I don't know. I would have been skeptical. You know what I mean? Just as a business person, you took the risk and you've obviously made it work. This is a success, and it's very impressive, by the way. And I was talking too about when Day to Attend was here, and I'm kind of flipping through the issue that they were in, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot here. There's a lot here.
It's always jam-packed.
So you've really made this work. But did anyone, I mean, I assume you had people who were skeptical, people who were doubters, and you had to kind of prove them wrong? Or?
Believe it or not, what's so interesting is maybe that worked in our favor, that paper publications went away. Because do you recall the era of zines?
Oh, yeah.
Remember zines?
Yeah, absolutely.
When your
That's
band,
where the whole idea came
That's
from.
where the whole idea came from.
Yeah. I used to live in Massachusetts, and I played in bands my whole life.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of scenes like The Noise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was like a big deal if your band got in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's something I still have to this day. I can show, my nieces and nephews. I'm like, oh, look, I was actually in a magazine.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like you could walk into any music venue and see stacks of different,
all the different ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And they went away, just like you said.
Yep.
And so one night, Sheila's an English major, and I'm like, listen, this was after a gig. It's like 2:30 in the morning.
It was 2:30 in the morning.
No kidding.
I'm like, zines used to be a big deal. It's too bad that we have such a great music scene and that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
It's like we should start our own magazine. And
so Tony
gets, you love English and you love music,
Yeah.
Tony gets all the credit for coming up with the idea. Yeah. So this is a true story, right, Tony?
It's
so
true.
The next day,
I woke up.
He woke up. And I had already been to Staples.
Yeah.
And had made a mock-up.
Yeah. So within like 6 hours, she already had one.
Wow.
And so what's so interesting, and so to answer your question, did anyone try to talk us out of it or encourage us to go a different route? No. In fact, it caught on quickly.
Yeah, we had actually a lot of support.
Good.
And so we tend to say that we're old school in a lot of ways. And so we liked the idea of bringing back zines, but making it more modern.
Yeah.
And so everyone was really encouraging right from the beginning. So maybe the fact that paper publications went away worked in our favor because here they were coming back.
Right.
And people were really digging it.
It's like there was a void that needed to be filled.
Yeah.
And no one was doing it.
And so it was working out great.
And it's not really like a business per se. We don't make money from it. We're not in it to make money from it.
Yeah.
The idea was just to give some support and recognition to the awesome
all the local bands
that we have. It really is all the bands that you meet and talk to.
Yeah.
And many, many more. They're all just real nice guys. So the idea was just sort of give back a little bit. I play in bands, so I know what it's like.
Do you play currently? Or you?
Oh yeah, I'm in 2 bands.
Oh,
right
what bands?
I'm in the Aunt Peg band.
Okay.
Out of Rochester, and I'm in a band called PSE out of Alton.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Yeah. So this is now. When it started, was the first issue like this where?
No, it was very different. I brought the coveted first issue to show you.
Oh yeah, yeah. For those watching online, if you're watching on Facebook,
So that was made at Staples.
This is made at Staples, and I hand stapled it at my kitchen table and put them around town. This was how it started. 8 pages.
Wow.
I had 500 copies made, and I hand stapled them at my kitchen table, and then I drove them around town, and that's how it started. So this is the coveted first issue.
Wow.
And it features our friend Wendy Gagnon-Poor, who says meet the singer in 3 bands. So Wendy's in 3 bands, so I asked her to be on our first cover.
Yeah.
And it took off from there. So 8 pages turned into 12.
Yeah.
And 12 turned into 16. So I decided I couldn't hand staple that many copies anymore.
Right.
So I found a local printer right in Rochester who are fabulous.
Yeah.
And so the magazines are now printed by Lilac City Printing.
Okay.
In Rochester.
And they hate the name.
And they gave us the
really? Paperjam. Yeah. A printer's nightmare. Yeah.
It was really funny because the printer took us back and showed us this giant machine that they print the magazines on.
Yeah.
And they said we really hate it when we get a paper jam. And
Yeah,
then it was really funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it kept expanding and expanding, and
actually, it started out quarterly. It was the idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And within, I think, the second issue, there was so much clamor that we were like, okay, we have to at least go bi-monthly.
Yeah.
And so we've been bi-monthly ever since.
So it's just been on
And
a
it's just
complete.
getting bigger and more
yeah.
pages, and
We love it. It's a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. Yeah, yeah. Do you ever have moments where you go, wow, this is a lot of work? Like, I mean, I assume, or I mean, do you have help with it, or do you do this all yourselves?
that's all Sheila.
Oh, that's
Sheila.
Wow.
I'm like a musical consultant.
Yeah, yeah.
and she does all the real heavy lifting.
Oh, no
I
kidding.
say, Tony, what type of gear did he say that he plays? And
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
helps me with that. So yeah, it's all me for now. I could really use some staff.
Yeah, no kidding.
Very
huh?
busy. But I'm not complaining. It's been a great thing, and we have one of the best music communities, and it's really
It's a lot of fun because
it's really a lot of fun.
We have these bands come over the house. We had our basement done, and there's my band practice, so there's a full practice space.
Yeah.
So they come over. We have our interview with them. A lot of times they'll play. We talk guitars and all that kind of stuff. But it's just great to meet all the people, and we always spend a few hours with them.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
So usually Sundays is Paperjam interview day.
Okay.
So Sunday we'll prepare. We finished our basement. We call it the R&R Lounge, right? Russo and Russo.
Right. Ah.
Yeah.
And so it kind of looks like a little pub down there with a live jam space.
Yeah.
So we usually an interview. When the band arrives, we greet them outside. We bring them in, and we have some food and snacks. We give them a little tour of the guitar lounge.
Yeah,
And
I have a guitar room.
Okay.
And then we start with the interview.
Yeah.
And we start with like a speed round, and we have some fun, and there's usually a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
Great time.
Now, so what's your process for the interview? Do you record it? Do you record audio of it and then take it and turn it
I
into-
actually literally type. I type while they answer.
No kidding.
Yeah, I do. I type.
Yeah, she types
Wow.
I type
super fast.
I
Are
type
you fast? Yeah.
I do type their answers. As they're
Okay.
answering the questions.
Yeah.
And then so I have not recorded any of the interviews. However,
we are
we're
gonna go down that road.
we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna start Zoom interviews on August 18th.
Okay.
We have our first Zoom interview because what happens is some of the bands who want to be in Paperjam live 2 or more hours away.
Yeah.
In New Hampshire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't expect everyone to travel that far.
Yeah.
So I decided to start Zoom interviews, and that comes with the capability of recording. So then that's when I'll start recording. And
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, will you post the video of that as kind of like
I hadn't thought
in
I
addition
hadn't
to
thought that far ahead.
I would say
but I actually
probably
like
excerpts.
Yeah, excerpts.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Because there's always there's inevitably somebody say something. Oh, don't put that in there.
Right.
We have this running joke that everybody says strike that from the record. Don't print that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that'd be a good teaser to get before the issue comes out. Put out little clips on YouTube, and Facebook, and
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So some of the bands play when they come to their interview in our jam space, and some don't.
Yeah.
But we love it either way.
Yeah.
Every band who comes is welcome to play a few songs.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and sometimes we'll put some of that up.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
them playing.
Yeah.
And so forth.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, so what is the criteria in terms of artists who are in Paperjam? Do you focus on New Hampshire, or is it a wider area?
New Hampshire
mainly
based?
focus
Okay.
on New Hampshire.
Okay.
We started out just trying to keep the local area, like Rochester, Dover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that much money.
Yeah.
To pay for a million pages.
Right.
And it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
So we started out that way, and as it's grown, more and more people from further away are getting into it. The whole idea, though, was that we support any and all music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There are I don't care if it's your first day playing guitar or you've been playing for 50 years.
Yeah.
So
or
all
what
levels.
kind of music it is, or it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter if you're country, pop, jazz, all levels. It's all inclusive.
Yeah.
The whole idea is just to support everybody.
Yeah.
We are getting contacted by bands outside of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That's maybe been one of the more difficult parts. Is I don't want to say no to anybody, but
Right.
at the same time, there are so many local bands that still are on our list.
Yeah.
So I have a list called Bands in Line.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there is a waiting list.
Yeah.
And we're full through much of 2025.
Oh wow. No.
Yeah, so the bands have been real patient and understanding that they have to wait in a little bit of a line.
Yeah.
So that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
I
definitely,
think,
definitely.
right? But when I start hearing from bands in other states, that's when I have to kind of think about New Hampshire based for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's only going to, obviously, as you as you continue to grow, that'll probably continue to intensify, I would think.
Right.
And especially now with the website too, you're going to be probably already are hearing from a lot more.
Yep.
Yes, it's a very
artists.
busy mailbox.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the things that Sheila came up with, because we can't have all these bands from everywhere at this point, is that if they contact us and we can't necessarily put them in, she does like a spotlight special on the website and put something together for an advertisement. Something.
Yeah, I put together a little video ad for them.
Support them that way.
And
cool.
Pop it up on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
So that they had so that they can be have a spotlight, but not necessarily end up in the pages of the magazine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that was
cool.
my way of sort of like not saying no.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And tell me about getting on the cover. Like, is there in terms of who gets on the cover? Like, what is the decision-making process there? And is there a criteria? Like when you put, like, obviously Day to Attend, they certainly deserve to be on the cover. And
Yes, they do.
I'm so glad that you did that, and I know they are too, because they speak very highly of Paperjam and what you're doing. But like, how does that work, getting on the cover?
Getting on the cover, I think people believe it's because we personally love that band the most, or that we think they're better, or when in fact it has very little to do with that. It has something to do with that because y'all know I love Day to Attend. So
yeah.
They're going on the cover.
Yeah.
But all of the bands that have been on the cover and all of the bands that have been in the pages of Paperjam, they're all equal to us. We don't play favorites.
Yeah.
It actually boils down to mostly timing. Who reached out first?
Okay.
Right.
And I said, I don't have anyone for my cover next month. And it's a band that draws a big crowd.
Yeah.
Big following.
Or another factor is if they have like a CD just coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you've got a CD coming out, or if you signed we had one band who signed a production deal, and they're on our cover, Vigil.
Yeah, Vigil's great.
Great metal band.
New metal band.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Finney.
Yes,
I know
Brandon.
Yep.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Craig
been,
and those guys.
He's been on the show. He hasn't been on for a very long time, but he's been on. Yeah.
He's good people.
Yeah.
So really, it's about timing. Who contacts us first? If you contact me in January, I'm not going to make you wait. You got in first. So it's a combination of timing. What's new? What's in the news for you? What can we report on? And also, who's a big band?
Yeah.
But some of the other bands that have been not on the cover are also cover worthy. And we had a saying where we're like, there's only one cover, and there's so many bands.
Well, yeah, I'm curious. I mean, is it ever a hard decision?
It is a hard decision.
Yeah.
Bands like Middleman or Standard Tuning, or bands like, they're fantastic, and we just only have one cover. So
yeah.
Sometimes too, what we'll try and do is, whether it's the issue, if it's a different issue before they're going to be in it, sometimes we'll give them the back cover.
Oh, okay.
So it's not the cover, but it's the back cover.
Yeah.
So, or if we're going to tease something, like a band coming in the next issue, or we might put that on the back cover or something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So on the back cover of our Day to Attend issue, you'll see it has Cathedral, a tribute to Van Halen.
Okay.
So they're next on our cover.
Oh, cool.
So they're
a great band.
They're a great band.
Yeah.
Great guitar player. And the bass player is super cool.
They're called Cathedral?
Cathedral, a tribute to the music of Van Halen. Fantastic.
Okay.
Featuring Tyler Morris, doing all the Eddie Van Halen
Oh, no kidding.
stuff.
Yeah.
He's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that one.
Very cool. Very cool. And how many of these? So you've got this this Girls Rock, where obviously you've got a montage of female musicians on the cover. It's a special edition.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done more than one of these special editions where instead of just putting one artist, where you
That's the only one so far.
No kidding. Yeah.
And that was a very popular issue.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Lita Ford actually saw Girls Rock issue.
Yes, she did.
We had a friend bring it to the Lita Ford show, and
no kidding.
I have a picture of her looking at it, and then we've also had Zach Wilde read Paperjam and sign it for us.
Yeah.
So that was a fun moment.
Yeah, we were talking about that off air. He gave you some some marital advice.
Yes, he did.
Because because congratulations, it's been what, 8 months?
Yeah, thank you for that.
Less than a year. It's still new, right?
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Can you tell us what he told you, or is that not appropriate for radio?
No, actually,
Tony, we love the story, so I'm sure Tony would be happy to tell you what Zach told us.
Okay.
He basically said, just use the word "I'm sorry." Be ready to say "I'm sorry."
Right.
He's like, my wife's never going to believe it, so I just say I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
He was really funny about it.
It was hilarious. And then he's like, so you say you're sorry, and then just say, you want to go get some coffee, and you go and just let whatever problem it is roll off your back.
Right.
Is basically.
And he said, go have a cup of coffee and move on. Have a happy life.
Yeah.
And he wrote that all over the guitar
And he wrote
case
it on the guitar case. So.
Which is funny because we've actually used the advice.
Yeah.
If we're
So
at
sometimes
odds or something.
Yeah.
Tony goes, do you want to have a cup of coffee? And I go, yes. And then we're good. And then we say, thank you, Zach Wilde.
Yes. Yeah. He's a really nice guy, though.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. Wait. Well, Jenny, you met Zach Wilde, right? With Jenn?
Yes.
At a.
Mm-hmm.
This was
right here in Manchester.
Yeah.
When he was his 16th birthday present was surprise tickets to VIP tickets to the Black Label Society concert here in Manchester. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. He told Jesse that he had a really cool mom, so I was really excited about that.
When they were at it was still the Verizon Center then, right? Was that must have been before it was SNU? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't SNU back then.
Yeah.
Back then, listen to me. But it was an amazing concert. It was definitely worth it, 100%. And I think the money from the VIP was going to a children's hospital or something like that. It wasn't, the band wasn't keeping it. It was all getting donated.
I'm not surprised by that
Which,
at all.
it doesn't surprise me at all either. But that made it even more sweet to do the VIP knowing where the money was going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was an incredible concert. Definitely a great memory. I still wear my T-shirt.
Yeah. Now, so Tony, I'm curious, when you're, obviously you're in a couple bands. I assume you're out playing a lot of shows.
Yep.
Do people from other bands ever try to kind of lean on you, like, hey, get us into Paperjam?
Oh yeah.
Get us on the cover. We want to be on the cover. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. And the answer is always yes. We'll get you in there.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly when, but we'll get you in there.
Yeah.
We don't really say no to anybody.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, a matter of timing.
Yeah.
One of the coolest parts for me about all of this is that, meeting all these guys from all these different bands, and, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And so we go out, we see them, these bands play, we get to meet everybody. But then I see faces that from the other bands showing up to see me play, which is always, just, it's again, comes back to just an awesome community.
Yeah.
So, but it's really cool when I see the people that I've met through Paperjam out in the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you get to see me play now. Cool. Thanks.
You know what else is really cool is when Tony's playing a show or we go to a show and we look out in the crowd and there's always a handful of people in a Paperjam shirt or Paperjam hat or they're walking around picking up the issue because we leave them at the music venues.
Yeah.
Like usually when we go to see a show, we bring copies with us.
Yeah.
And the venues are so
Cool
gracious
about it, yeah.
and cool to let us put them there. And so we have a lot of drop sites around, but I definitely like the music venues. And so we bring copies and see these strangers wearing a shirt or reading the magazine, and it's a pretty good feeling. And then the next thing you know, you see them again. And I don't know, we've met so many great people through this.
It's hilarious because some of the people will send pictures. Oh, I'm in Mexico at the beach, and where they're wearing their Paperjam.
Oh,
shirt.
nice.
I'm in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
or,
we have this
you know,
travel. We have this,
around the world. Paperjam
we have this
around the
thing.
world.
Where is Paperjam? So when they travel, they send me a pic in their shirts and tell me where they're from somewhere in the world.
Very cool.
Kind of fun.
Very cool. How do people get the shirts? Do they order them online? Or?
Yeah, you can. We have men's and ladies shirts, and just got some tank tops and
stickers and
we have stickers, keychains, all
Very
kinds
cool.
of merch. So.
And how many drop locations do you have? I assume that's grown over the.
It has grown. I think we started with 6, 7, 8, and now I believe there's over 30. And I think definitely want to give a shout out to a friend of ours named Jim Antonino. He came into the Paperjam circle and has really been huge,
super supportive
and super supportive in helping us get ads.
Yeah.
So
And
we
grow
weren't
it.
selling ads the first year and a half.
Yeah.
2. This is also kind of recent. Jim has been very helpful in helping us sell ads and find new locations to put Paperjam magazine.
Excellent.
And
Which
we
is good 'cause
appreciate
we're not
him very
independently
much.
wealthy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sort of sticking to, it's a hobby. I'm not trying to make money. I'm just trying to, help the bands get some recognition that they deserve. And then Jim came and said, "You have a really good model going here. Let me see where we can take this."
Yeah.
And so he has helped us so much. I appreciate you, Jim, very much. And so we've sold a few ads. And,
Excellent.
And we're just.
I have to give a shout out to Scott at Big Hit Guitars as well. He was one of the first to sign up.
Scott
He's
at
just a
Big
great
Hit
guy.
Guitars. Awesome
great guitar
shop
store
in
right in Barrington.
Barrington, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Real nice stuff. He's got the whole range, but he's got some real nice high end.
Excellent.
So even though it's just us in one sense, it's really not just us because we've had help along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's outstanding. By the way, Jay Bello, who I'm sure you all know from Chasing the Devil, he's in the chat room. He says, "Thank you all so much for what you do for local music and musicians."
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah. Jeff Richards, of course, from Day to Attend, says Black Label played Chantilly's in Manchester once with Robert on bass, who is in Metallica now.
Yeah.
Wow, they played. Wow, I
Wow.
remember
Love
going
that.
to a lot of shows back in the day at Chantilly's. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That must have been when Black Label Society was just starting out. If they were playing
That would have
Chantilly's.
been.
Yeah,
That would have been way back.
that had to be way back. Yeah.
early 2000s probably.
I still remember the first time I ever saw Zach Wilde when he was. I think it was in the Ozzy's "No More Tears" video.
Yeah.
He looked
Yeah.
very different then.
Oh, he was,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a pretty boy.
He looked very different.
That's the Zach Wilde I fell in love with.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
No More Tears era.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
the Theater of Madness tour at the Orpheum. Was
Okay.
The first one, and it was a small location. Zach I was just starting to play the guitar.
Yeah.
So he just absolutely floored me. I
Yeah.
was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I've never looked back. I've been obsessed with the guitar ever since.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tom Siracusa from, of course, Day to Attend says Paperjam supports young musicians as well.
Yes.
GrimRock is in the Facebook live chat. Our friend from Pennsylvania. By the way, so coming up in the third hour, so he sends us a lot of cool stuff, and we have not opened this package yet. But this package here that I'm holding, we're going to open. This is from our friend GrimRock in PA, and we're going to open that in the. We know what it is, right?
I do.
I mean, it's obviously. I assume it's a CD.
I know what
You know what it is, but
I'm not telling you nothing.
We're going to open that up today in the third hour live on the air. So looking forward to that. But no, he's amazing. But and he says, hey, hope everyone's day rocks.
I have Grim stickers.
Yes.
Along with my Day to Attend stickers.
Yes.
And I'm wearing a Day to Attend t-shirt.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
Yes, she is. Jen, I really wish I brought you Paperjam stickers. I'm going to send you some.
Oh,
we
yeah.
love stickers.
Yeah, Jenny loves the stickers. Yeah, you can see on, if you're watching live on Facebook, you can see Jenny's.
That's just one part of my laptop. They're on the bottom, too.
Yeah.
They're on everything. I'm a sticker fiend.
Jenny's got a lot of stickers.
Jesse inherited that from me, too. He's now stickering up his guitar case.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's on a mission.
Speaking of stickers, when the bands come for their interviews,
They give us, it's awesome.
they bring so much merch and they're
Yeah.
so generous. And so we too ended up with a large pile of band stickers, which we love.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what to do with them. So we went out and we bought like this huge poster board.
Oh.
And we made like a wall of stickers.
Oh,
in
that's
the-
a great
yeah,
idea.
Nice.
we filled it, so I got to start a new one. But they bring us all kinds of great things, CDs, shirts.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic.
We used to have something like that in the old studio because we've only been here. When did we move here? October, November of last year. But when we were in our when WMNH was on our Elm Street location, we had a wall where you could put stickers
Yeah.
and sign it. And but now that we're in this nice new place, is really not a place for that. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody pulled out a Sharpie and signed the wall here, I'd get fired. But we had a really cool thing where you could do that. But no, that's a great idea though.
The Rochester Opera House is cool about that. In the back part of the stage,
Yeah.
all the bands that have played there get to sign it.
Yeah.
Or write that
Yeah.
down. And a lot of the venues will have something like that.
Yes.
Where they'll have a sticker.
Oh, yeah.
All of stickers.
You-
It's
you
always a fight. Bands again. I'm going to put my sticker over there.
I used to see that a lot in Boston. Like when I was really active promoting live shows, I would see that at a lot of the Boston venues, and I'm sure a lot of them still have it, where it just covered in
Oh, yeah.
stickers, going back decades,
For sure.
And
Yeah.
you could kind of look at it and try to pick out, oh wow, I remember that band, and I remember that band.
Do you remember Sarah Morgan's Cove in Worcester?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, their claim to fame was the Rolling Stones played there once, and Aerosmith. But anyways, it was a cool place.
Yeah.
It's gone now, like
Yeah.
many of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, Middle East, TTs, all those places, they all had stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of places come and go. Now, so do you ever feature anyone, or have you ever featured anyone in the publication who's not necessarily a musician, but is doing something else, like maybe someone who owns a venue or?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually, in addition to band interviews, we also have spotlight articles.
Okay.
And there's a website for female drummers called Drummer Girls United. I think it has about 7,000 female drummer members.
Yeah.
And from that site, I have interviewed separately 3 female drummers. So we did spotlight on them. And then we've also done a spotlight on a few venues that feature live music. And I love to do spotlight articles. In the next issue, there'll be one with Scott from Big Hit Guitars that we mentioned previously.
Okay.
Gonna spotlight his new guitar shop because it's fantastic.
It is really nice. It's bad for me because it's too close to my house.
So we tried. So the magazine, we try to include band interviews, and then we try to include some music-related articles.
Yeah.
Maybe about gear or how to promote your CD.
Yeah.
Songwriting,
lyrics, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then we have the spotlight articles, which are generally shorter.
Okay.
And then we also add in some jokes and some trivia and some fun stuff. And people seem to like it.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Do you have a number of is there a number of artists that you try to have in every? Is there like a minimum threshold of artists that you try to have in each issue?
I started with 2 per issue, and it went to 3, and now in this Day to Attend issue, there's 4 bands.
Yeah.
Well, we did 4 full interviews.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the interviews, we try to find an angle. When the band arrives and we get situated, I let them know, like, as we talk through this interview, I need to find an angle for your band because otherwise it's all going to sound the same.
Right.
So
right.
I often ask, tell me about your background. What's your experience? How'd you learn to play music? Or I'll say, what venues have you played? Or who influenced you?
Mm-hmm.
All of those questions are often the same for every band, but it would all start to sound alike if we didn't find an angle.
Right.
And luckily, there always seems to be one.
There's always an angle.
Some band is,
yeah.
one band's coming out with a new album, or one band is brand new on the scene and they're trying to make a name for themselves. That's their angle, the new band on the scene. Or there's a band that's all females, or there's a band that's made up of teenagers, like a band we featured in the Day to Attend issue.
Yeah.
Tom Syracuse's daughter, Hannah Rose, is 15, and she's a fabulous drummer, and she's in bands. And so we featured her in there as well. So we try to find the angle so that it all doesn't sound the same. Hopefully it's working.
Do you have prior experience interviewing or working in PR? Because what you just said, not everyone knows that. And it's evidence that not everyone knows that, because you'll see a lot of people who do interviews they just ask the same old questions. Yeah. Where are you from?
Yeah, where are you from?
What kind of music do you play? You know, so to know that, I mean, is that just something you knew instinctively, or do you have prior experience?
I don't have prior experience in interviewing or anything like that, but I've always been a writer.
Okay.
And so I have a book of short stories. I've written novels. Like I've always been a writer.
Okay.
And so I think from that, I learned some of that.
Yeah.
Some of,
Yeah, because it was obvious, like looking at the Day to Attend article, it was like, okay, you know how to interview, because not everyone does. A lot of people try and they don't really know how to do it.
She does a great job.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of like the comedic value, the comedic value to the whole thing.
Right.
Now,
crack jokes,
another part of another thing we put out the snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, somebody asked you.
You're right. Exactly.
So another thing that's interesting about the articles is that some of them are written in a question and answer format, and other articles are written, just straight out, like about the band versus question
with
and
quotes
answer.
as opposed to
And so someone asked me one time, like, how do you decide? And I just said it depends on the feel of the band, what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Some bands feel more like a question and answer type interview. I can't really say why. It's a feeling, and it depends on the angle we want to talk about. So, and then I love to get the pull quotes, I call them. The pull quotes are inevitably someone during the interview will say something profound or interesting that stands out to me.
Yep.
And I'll make a little note. Like, this would make a great pull quote. And then as you flip through the pages of Paperjam, you'll see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see a band member's photo and then usually like a great quote that they gave us.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of fortunate because the bands make it easy for us. They have so much to say and they're great.
Is there anyone who's really surprised you? I mean, I'm sure there are, like who you interviewed them and they wound up being way more interesting than you expected. Like they just had a backstory that really maybe went in a direction you weren't expecting.
All
or
the
something.
time.
Almost every time.
Really?
There's some sort of surprise that like even Day to Attend, those guys, again, wicked nice guys, but the way they all pulled together from all these different situations they were in over a long period of time.
Yeah.
And, it's just, but almost every band gives us some sort of, we didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It's
and you find out somebody was like, oh, well, I was an opera singer. I didn't see that one coming.
Right.
So, and stuff like that. So it's always an interesting time.
And isn't that one of the, like, I feel like for me as someone who interviews people, that's like one of the best things. I love when somebody says something to me I completely wasn't expecting, or they reveal something about themselves that just like, wow, I didn't see that coming. That just makes it so much more rewarding. You know what I mean?
I'll have to say that one of the questions I like to ask is, do you have any hobbies or interests outside of music?
Yeah.
Because they're all here to talk about their instruments and their music and experience. But sometimes I'm just curious to know, what do you like to do when you're not doing music?
Yeah.
And that's where it really gets interesting, because you find out that,
some people are a chef.
Some people are
they love
a professional chef, or some people.
Or MMA. Or,
yeah. And so it's been really interesting to hear what they like to do outside of music.
Yeah.
To really get to know them. And that surprises me sometimes. We had one band member who told me he's made over 500 or 800, I forget, a very high number of skydive jumps.
Oh, no kidding.
That was Scott, I think from Stiletto.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think is smart too about your approach is it kind of, I think it probably snaps them out of, because I mean, I can kind of tell, and I'm sure you can too, when someone comes into an interview and they have an expectation of what they're going to be asked, and they've kind of already done the interview in their own mind, you know. So it's not, some musicians, I mean, I know from my experience, sometimes I'll interview someone and they seem really spontaneous and like they're fully engaged. And some people, you can kind of tell where, like I said, they've already done the interview in their brain.
Yeah.
They're just kind of giving you the answers to the questions that they're already expecting to hear. So if you can pull them out of their shell
right,
by asking them something sort of outside of that,
right,
that's a great technique.
We start with the speed round. We just throw out questions and
Really,
just to break the ice. We say like Megadeth or Metallica, cats or dogs,
Yeah.
Fender or Gibson.
Fender or Gibson. Like,
Yeah.
And then
Mountains
it gets
or
them.
lakes.
Yeah.
Mountains or lakes, and
Beer or hard stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then once we get through
Muscle
that,
cars or motorcycles.
muscle cars or motorcycles.
Tattoos or piercings.
Jeff from Day to Attend says in the chat, it's amazing how Sheila compiles all that info into the amazing articles.
Thank you, Jeff.
How long does that take? I mean, it probably varies wildly from one to the next, but I mean,
It takes a long time.
yeah,
It's
not-
pretty much a full-time job outside of my regular full-time job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the second month, because we have 2 months, she has 2 months to do it.
Yeah.
And so trying to get all the interviews, and inevitably, a lot of the interviews happen in the second month.
Yeah.
So the last 2-3 weeks of that month,
It's like go time.
Sheila's like,
Yeah.
I gotta go work on it. And she's always at the computer, and
Right,
just
right.
busting her cute little bum there to to finish it up.
Does it come out the same day of the month?
We
No,
try
it,
and-
it comes out at the beginning of it's bi-monthly, so
Yeah.
it'll come out early in the new month.
Okay.
But it's not always the same day.
Yeah.
I don't think the printer is open on the weekends, so
Oh,
sometimes
right.
we have to wait till Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, driving it around, and we both have day jobs. So,
Yeah.
Just trying to find the time to go distribute it and so forth. So, usually within a few days of the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do that people may not realize is that once the issue's done, so to speak, I always do proofs.
Yeah.
From the printer, so I go pick up a black and white and a color proof, and I go over it page by page to make sure that the colors translate well.
Yeah.
And it looks good in black and white, looks good in color. Make sure there's no spelling mistakes.
Yeah.
And as a grammar Nazi, I really have made typos before, and I didn't sleep for a week because I just don't want to make typos in my magazine. But it happens; we're all human.
Yeah.
But I try to go through it and check the colors and the layout and make sure it's all looking good. And before we hit what I call the go button.
Yeah.
But once I look at the proofs, then we hit the go button, and then the printer does their thing.
Yeah. I know what you mean about grammar. I'm the same way.
Right, you're the same way,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did one issue where I said something about metal mayhem, and I misspelled mayhem, and
Yeah.
I didn't catch it, and it still bothers me to this day.
I would be the same way in that situation. Like I'm at the point where I'm horrified if I see something I posted on social media and I realize I misspelled something.
Yeah,
and I'll go
same.
back and correct it. And most people wouldn't bother because it's just social media. But yeah,
No, I'm the same way.
I have to. Are you? Yeah.
Completely the same way.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Oh, we should mention too. So is it everyone who's in the magazine gets a color copy, or
Yes.
is it okay?
Yeah, we print in black and white for our paper copies
Yeah.
all over the community, but we always print full color copies for everyone who gets in the magazine.
Okay.
So every band that's in it, everybody in the band gets
Each
one.
member gets a color copy.
Oh, very cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Tom Russo, who was also here with us last week, a very talented musician, he says, I'd love to get in your publication. This sounds great. Yeah, do you know Tom?
I don't.
Singer-songwriter, really talented.
I know
guy.
the name.
Yeah, yeah.
I know the name.
Yeah, he's amazing.
But we can get you in there. Just
We
contact.
can get you in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, contact us.
What's the best way for, should they contact you through the website or on social media? What's the
best way is our email box.
Yeah.
It's Paperjam _mag, M-A-G, at yahoo.com. So Paperjam _mag at yahoo.com.
Okay.
And just tell us a little bit about who you are and your band. And, it doesn't have to be just a band. It could be solo musicians.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that too. So if you'd like to be in Paperjam, just send us an email and tell us a little bit about yourself. A lot of times people will send links so we can listen to their music, and we can go from there.
Yeah.
Again, there is a bit of a waiting line.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind waiting a little bit, but we can make it happen.
Yeah.
It's amazing how patient a lot of these bands are.
Sure.
Is that, or some of them will be like, I do want to be on the cover. And we're like, well, it's going to be like 8 months.
Yeah.
Before, and they'll be like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
And they do. And it's, and it's great. Everybody really is supportive of it.
And it's a nice mix, too, because we have cover bands, we have original bands, and then we have tribute bands.
Yeah.
So we've done all three, and so it's a nice mix there.
Yeah. Outstanding. Bless you, I think. Did you just sneeze?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our allergies have been, well, I have allergies. I don't know what your issue is.
I'm allergic to you.
Yes, that must be what it is. That must be what. Oh, and before we run out of time, the time goes so quickly. It's already approaching the top of the hour. But what do you have, or do you know yet? What's in store for the next issue? Obviously, Day to Attend is on the cover.
On the cover of this one, yeah. But for next time, we have Cathedral.
Okay.
The Van Halen tribute, amazing Van Halen band.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Is Dumpster
With our
Fire
friend
gonna be-
Kirk Bartholomew, and it
Kirk,
features
he's awesome.
Kirk and Tyler Morris. We're looking at a band called Down by 10, a band called Dumpster Fire.
I think that's a great name.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do love that. And we're looking at Scott at Big Hit Guitars for a nice spotlight article.
Yeah.
And lots more.
Excellent. And who else is in the current one too? For obviously, Day to Attend is on the cover. Who else do you have in the current issue?
We have Standard Tuning, great cover band, and C-Rock.
Yes.
And Tainted Hearts.
Okay.
So C-Rock is a band, a local cover band that came, and they gave us a very memorable interview because they were hilarious and made us laugh for 2 hours. So that was a lot of fun. They just
Really,
were great. And Tainted Hearts is the young teen band that they range in age from 15 to 17, and that's who's in the current issue.
I think their name has come up on the show recently. I don't remember why, but
Tainted Hearts is Tom Syracusa of Day to Attend. That's his daughter.
Oh,
yeah,
his daughter, Hannah Rose.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, so Tom must have mentioned that.
Yeah,
when they were here.
he must have mentioned that. So we were
No,
happy.
I have to, just for Tom, Guns N' Roses are awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's for you, Tom.
He loves Guns N' Roses.
Well, don't we all?
I do.
Who does? I mean, or everybody. I mean, they're one of those bands. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, everybody either loves them or at least likes them.
Yeah.
Right? You very rarely hear anyone say, "I don't like Guns N' Roses."
No, I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody somewhere, but it's unusual. Like my favorite band is Kiss.
Right on.
But there are a lot of Kiss haters. Like there are a lot of people who will tell you they don't like Kiss. But no, Guns N' Roses. I don't know anyone who. Jenny, Guns N' Roses.
Not particularly.
You don't particularly like them?
Yeah.
See, we found somebody live on the air.
But she didn't say she hates them either.
Yeah, you don't hate them though, do you?
I don't hate any musician.
Okay. Do you dislike them?
I'm not particularly fond of their music, no.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no.
Well, then.
I guess I can't say that next time.
No, I guess not. Jenny
You didn't ask me until now.
I guess
Do you ever hear me play them?
Actually, no.
Never.
That's
In all
true.
our years, like a decade, never.
Oh, Tattoo Babble, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, is in the chat and says, Tattoo in the house. And I have definitely heard, but you got to have old GNR. Oh, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah, people do.
Differentiate.
Yeah.
Old versus new.
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of like Metallica.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, and Jeff Richards says, Kiss rules, Matt. You rock. Thank you.
I've seen Kiss.
It's Baby. Tattoo Baby is how you pronounce that, apparently. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I thought that was, it's two I's, not I-L. Okay. Is that someone you guys know?
I don't recognize the name.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show, Tattoo. It's someone GrimRock knows. I see. Okay, gotcha. GrimRock was asking if you're GrimRock is in Pennsylvania, so he obviously isn't someone you would necessarily want for Paperjam. But
we could spotlight it though.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So get in touch, GrimRock. Yeah. GrimRock is amazing. Oh, okay. Tattoo Baby is GrimRock's cover model. Gotcha. Okay. We are out of time. Remind us again, where should people go online, the website, and anything else people should know about Paperjam?
Well, the website is paperjammagazine.com. So if you want to look at some back issues, I'll send it to you, mail order. I think it's only $4.
Yeah.
To order a back issue.
Okay.
And the email is paperjam_mag@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And of course, we're on Facebook as well.
And we're on Facebook as Paperjam, the music mag for local bands and fans.
Okay. Outstanding. Sheila and Tony, thank you both so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
This has been wonderful. We'll have to do it again in the future. I love what you're doing. Very, very cool. And we'll actually end this segment. Of course, if you're listening live on Saturday morning, stick around. We got plenty more show coming for you. But we'll end our segment with Ghost Inside, another great track from Day to
Love
Attend.
it. Great song.
And of course, Day to Attend is on the cover of the current issue of Paperjam magazine. And this is another great track. This is called Ghost Inside.
Sometimes I feel like I could fly to the heavens of the blue sky, even though I know it's in my mind. When the moment crashes down on you, you make believe that nothing you can do but lift your arms into the sky. If it's true, you lose the one thing that was always there for you. Memories fit to black in the nightmare, it just keeps on coming back. Bitterness can turn to sweet and then it knocks you off your feet. It's your ghost inside, you can run, you can hide, but you cannot escape. Lost in the rain, I can't find my way. It's the ghost inside, I can't break through. I still can't find my way. I'm blinded by the rain. It's the ghost inside, I can't get away. Come on, come on, come on, come on and save me. If it's true, you lose the one thing that was always there for you. Memories fit to black in the nightmare, it just keeps on coming back. Bitterness can turn to sweet and then it knocks you off your feet. It's your ghost inside, you can run, you can hide, but you cannot escape. Lost in the rain, I can't find my way. It's the ghost inside, I can't break through. I still can't find my way. I'm blinded by the rain. It's the ghost inside, I can't get away.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig & Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig & Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit CraigGetsoulis.com or call 603-5551-234 for a free consultation. Craig & Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry. located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at QueenCityCabinetryNH.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Midnight. 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNH-LP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed residents. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Table. Can't remember just what you did the night before. What's it in your soul? Nothing left to borrow. Burying your gold, your pain and your sorrow. Juju and holy water. Juju and holy water. Juju and holy water. It's never too late to come round when you're young. Got all your cards spread out on your table.
to be found.
Ooh, I like that a lot. That is One Dime Band, Hulu and Holy Water. I love that guy's voice. We're going to learn more about that and a lot of things in just a couple of moments. If you are listening live on Saturday morning, this is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire, here on Canal Street. Of course, Jenny is here with us at the news table.
Present and accounted for.
And by the way, thank you again to Sheila Russo and Tony Russo, of course, from Paperjam magazine for joining us in the first hour, and all that they do for the music scene here, for the local music scene. Just really phenomenal. But right now, we are joined in studio by, let's see, we have Charlene Labor and Debbie Madison from Granite State Blues Society. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
And we were actually kind of bonding off air over, we have some, a mutual friend of ours, Nick David, and we're going to play, actually, at the end of our segment, we're going to play something from his band, but I've known Nick for a very long time. And, but the way that I originally met Nick, it was not through the music scene. I used to do Jeet Kune Do, and I met him at a Jeet Kune Do class that we were both participating in. So, we would spar and wrestle and all that. So that's how I originally knew Nick. And then it turned out, I learned he was a musician. And but I haven't seen Nick in a very long time, but you both were saying that he's a good friend to the Granite State Blues Society and does a lot.
Yes, absolutely. He's a great guy. He's very supportive and friendly with the Granite State Blues Society.
Excellent. So what is that? What is the Granite State Blues Society?
We are a registered nonprofit here in New Hampshire, 501c3, and we work to promote the blues and keeping the blues alive up here in the great Granite State.
Outstanding. What do you both do? I mean, do you each have specific duties, or are you partners in this, or?
Yes, we are partners. We have a board, and we all work together cohesively as one unit to promote shows in the local area, attend shows. We do visibilities for the Granite State Blues Society to help give some visibility to make sure the Granite State Blues Society people know that we exist.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this. So when did this start? How long has the Granite State Blues Society existed?
We were incorporated, I believe, back in 2002 when they joined the Blues Foundation, which is the parent, the umbrella organization for all the blues societies all over the world.
Okay. Wow. So there's a global organization.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's headquartered down in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay. And then for the Granite State Blues Society, were both of you involved right from the beginning?
No.
Okay.
No. I've been involved with them for maybe like 7 years. And then I've risen up to the leadership position. And Debbie?
I think it's been 5 years for me.
5 years, yeah. What brought you each into this? I mean, did you have prior backgrounds in the music industry? Are you musicians, or what? I'm curious to know what brought each of you into wanting to do this and doing these events. There's an event coming up too that we're going to talk about in a moment.
Yeah.
That's next weekend. But I'm curious to kind of know what brought each of you into getting involved in this.
Well, I ran into John Mann and Roxanne Mann at the Auburn Pits and started talking to them. We were out there for a blues jam, and I found out about the Granite State Blues Society through them. They told me about the International Blues Challenge down in Memphis, so my husband and I decided we were going to Memphis that year because I love the blues. We both do.
Yeah.
And from there, I sat down in a club in Memphis, and I sat down next to Audrey Frazier, who was the current president of the Blues Society, and I said, wow, I didn't know this existed, and I would really love to be involved, and that's how I became a board member of the Blues Society.
Okay. And what about you, Debbie?
And for me, I've had a lifelong love of the blues, and approximately 5 years ago, I met Charlene and the former president, Audrey.
Okay.
And they sort of reeled me in.
Okay. How did they reel you in? And was it, did they have to talk you into getting involved, or was it something that you kind of jumped at? Like,
I was
like
willing.
Charlene did?
I was willing from the start.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of it comes from our love of the blues, the people that are involved with the Blues Society, including our wonderful sponsors that we have. It's just that there's a very solid core group of people in New Hampshire and in the New England area that just love the blues, and it's just a wonderful big blues family. We are very supportive of each other, and that's kind of how it runs.
Yeah. And the blues is so foundational to everything. Like, all the,
Absolutely.
I always kind of think of it as people are blues fans who don't necessarily realize that they are, because if you're a fan of rock music,
yes,
any genre or subgenre of rock music, I mean, it all started, and same with country and same with hip hop and everything. It all goes back to the same thing. It all goes back to the blues.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Without the blues, I mean, we might all be listening to, I don't know what we'd be listening to. Pat Boone, maybe? I don't know.
We'd be listening to classical music.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but, but without the blues, you don't have everything else. Tell us about the event that's coming up August 3rd.
That's our annual Blues Festival, and it is a fundraiser for New Hampshire's children's charities. Since the inception of this, it has always benefited the New Hampshire children's charities, typically the Webster House right here in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Okay.
This is a one-day festival, rain or shine. The weather forecast for next week looks absolutely beautiful, and it's out in Mason, New Hampshire at the range. Nicole Ruggiero has been hosting us for 4 years. This is our fourth festival, and we've got our 2 Blues Challenge winners from last year. Nick Spencer, who is a young man who plays guitar, sings, and plays harmonica. He's 16, he just turned 17, and he's heading off to Berklee College of Music in the fall.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he's a very talented young man, and I'm very excited. We are all very excited to see where this takes him. And the One Dime Band, who you listen to on the intro with John Brockler and Paul Gallucci, they will be playing our festival as well. We have the Diego Mongu Band. They're from Western Massachusetts, and he was at the International Blues Challenge this year as well. We have Cheryl Arena featuring the wonderful, lovely Queen of the Blues, Tony Lynn Washington, and we have the Knickerbocker All-Stars are coming up, and we have Nick David, the Wicked Lowdown.
Outstanding. So we're going to do something. We were talking about this off air. We're going to do something special for our listeners. So if they want to go, they have to, so they can contact you. How should we, through social media? Would that be the best way?
I think social media, if you would message us on our Facebook app, and that would work.
So if you're the first one, you got to be the first ones. Is it 2, what are we doing, 2 tickets?
2 tickets. We'll give a pair of tickets.
To get a pair of tickets, you have to message the Granite State Blues Society through Facebook and say that you heard this conversation here on this. You got to say the name of the radio show that you heard it on and the name of the station, WMNH 95.3 FM. But if you offer that information, the first one to do that, to message on Facebook, the Granite State Blues Society will get 2 tickets complimentary to this amazing event. And by the way, where is Mason exactly? What is it near?
So I guess depending on where you would be driving from, it's down near the Massachusetts border. It's south of Amherst.
Okay.
I go 101.
Yeah.
Route 31.
Oh, okay.
Right by Monadnock Water. You just follow that down maybe 10 miles, and it's on Turnpike Road. Pretty easy to find.
Okay. So be the first ones to message Granite State Blues Society on Facebook. Mention this conversation on this radio show on this station, and you can get in. You can get your 2 tickets. And now you said this is the 4th one.
The 4th one that we've held in Mason at the range. Prior to this, it was in New Boston at the 4-H fairgrounds.
Oh, okay.
For many, many, many years.
So talk to me about putting this together. I assume this is probably something that and I just know from my own experience in doing concert promotion and being involved in annual events, I assume this is something that you're doing some planning for the entire year, right?
Yeah.
Because something that people outside of the business don't know, or who've never done any kind of production of an event like this, an annual event, and this is a big event, you've got a lot of artists playing on this, is how much work actually goes into it.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not a matter of, you contact a bunch of bands and they're all just going to show up and it's a quick, easy. This is complicated stuff, right? This is a lot of work.
Yeah. And it does, and we plan, like, we're already talking bands for next year's festival. We've already got some in the queue for next year. We do start talking about this, and it's kind of, we are going to be in a little hiatus, I think, September, October, November, but we have to do a fundraiser for our Blues Challenge winners this year. And then we just start planning again for next year's festival. And it is a lot of work. And we do have a board member, Rachel Bernard, and she has been a fantastic asset for our board in terms of her knowledge about how, like you said, how all of these things come together.
Yeah.
And, many hands make light work.
Yes. How many people are on the board?
We have 6.
6, okay. And how do you in terms of deciding who's going to play the festival? Because I assume you probably have a lot of submissions, right? Or people who contact you who say, hey, I've got a blues project we'd love to play.
Yeah, it works that way as well. We do have people that reach out to us, but we always give a slot to our Granite State Blues Society Challenge winners. They will always be on our stage in the following year. And then we kind of look around at new acts and people that we've seen. Some people we see in Memphis at the International Blues Challenge that we would not be able to catch their act if we didn't go to Memphis. So I would recommend, if you want to go to Memphis and you want to get entrenched in a weekend of blues, go to the International Blues Challenge.
Right. Would you say, is Memphis, Tennessee, is that kind of the mecca for blues right now in the United States, or are there other cities that maybe people wouldn't think of necessarily where there's a really hot blues scene happening?
Well,
I think Beale Street, Memphis is really the home of the blues.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes. But there are many, many other places.
There's Chicago blues. I mean, we have, even locally, we have a lot of fantastic clubs. But, I think Milford and Manchester, we have a pretty vibrant blues community. And I apologize if I've left anybody out, but, it's like trying to think of everything on the fly.
Yeah.
But I do, it's kind of like the mecca. Everybody goes there that wants to get deeply entrenched in the blues.
Tell us about the challenge again, the Blues Challenge. I'm curious to learn more about that. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Debbie.
We hold a challenge every year. And there are 2 categories, solo, duo, and band group. We also have a youth category as well.
Okay.
And the winners will go to Memphis to represent New Hampshire in the International Blues Challenge.
Oh, okay. How many people enter the challenge here?
I think we had 6 bands this year.
Yeah, it really varies year to year. We just had it May 19th up at the Bank of New Hampshire stage. They were very generous to host us this year. I would also recommend that people check out their website because they do have some blues shows coming up. But we do start making announcements probably in March or April for next year's challenge. Will be held. It's typically held in May.
Okay.
We just vet the bands, make sure they're blues. They do have to have some original music as well. It's favored. It's looked upon very favorably by the judges in Memphis. And then we just have a fun day listening to blues.
Yeah. Do you know how many artists are involved in is in Memphis? Is that the international challenge? Or?
Correct.
Okay. So there must be a lot.
It's held every January.
Okay. Do you know how many? I mean, is it in the how many artists are in that challenge? Is it
it's in the hundreds?
It is in the hundreds. Yeah.
The first year I started going, it's amazing, and you really have to run from club to club and back and forth across the street to catch all the music, and then you start hearing the buzz on the street, like, oh my God, you got to catch these guys, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Does anybody ever approach the Granite State Blues Society who you have to? I don't know if turn away would be the right way of putting it, but something that I've always found kind of interesting, and speaking as a musician myself, is blues is one of those genres, and like I said, it's also the foundation of everything, but not everyone necessarily agrees on what qualifies as blues. You know, like you've got a lot of rock bands that are kind of blues based, and which is an odd term in and of itself because it's all blues based, right? But you've got some rock bands who have kind of a bluesy sound, who some might consider to be blues but aren't necessarily blues. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example of somebody. It seems like there's even been bands that will put the word blues in their name, and there's an example of that specifically that it's in the back of my mind. I can't quite. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite think of who it is. But not everyone necessarily agrees on what is blues and what is more just blues-based rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you ever find that where someone approaches you and says, hey, I've got a blues project, and then you listen to their music and you go, this isn't really blues, you know? Does that ever happen?
Well, when we do have the Blues Challenge, we bring in 3 judges that have a very strong blues background.
Yeah.
None of them are board members. It's very, and you're right. Sometimes it is subjective, and yes, we've had a couple of people that applied this year that when we vetted the bands, because you don't want country rock up there,
right?
And you know, when it's a blues challenge and people are coming and anticipating blues.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does happen, and we very kindly and gently thank them for their interest. But we want them to make sure they're playing in the blues genre, because there would be no point in them, you know, a hip hop singer coming in to compete in a blues challenge.
Right, right. Matt Kirshner is in the Facebook live chat and says, Blues Traveler, LOL. Yes, that's who I was trying to think
Okay.
of. Perfect example. Yes, Blues Traveler. And again, you know, you can understand why they would call themselves Blues Traveler, but it's not blues. I mean, he's got a harmonica, sure,
Okay.
but that's not all it takes, right? And you've probably had conversations similar with people about that kind of thing, right? Like, this isn't really what we're looking for here, you know?
Yeah, it's typically only with the challenge, because we want to make sure that, listen, I'm not going to be critical of anybody.
Right, right.
I don't play an instrument, I don't sing.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of try to enjoy all of it as much as I can. But we keep our festival in the blues genre, we keep our challenge in the blues genre, and we will promote shows on our Facebook page about blues shows that are coming up. Blues jams, if you know of a blues jam, send it our way. We'll put it up on our Facebook page and our website.
Yeah. Now, does the Granite State Blues Society, you've got the annual event. Do you do other events? I mean, obviously you promote other events that people are having, as you just said, but do you also do other smaller events throughout the year, or do you just focus on the one annual event?
It's a big lift to pull the festival off the ground.
No doubt.
And
yeah.
then we move towards our blues challenge. We would like to do other events. We've talked about it. You know, having something else, but we haven't pulled it off yet, and that's definitely on the back burner for us.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
There's a lot of opportunity. There's so many good blues musicians in this area that we are very fortunate. You can always find a show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We also do a couple of fundraisers for our Blues Challenge winners to help defray their costs to Memphis.
Oh, excellent.
Forgot about that. Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And tell us again about, you mentioned Webster House earlier.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that? Because, you know, certainly living in Manchester, I'm aware of the Webster House. I've heard of it. I don't really know much about it, though, and many of our listeners probably don't know either.
Yeah. The Webster House, I can't tell you how long they've been established, but it is a home away from home for children who need to be out of the home through no fault of their own. I don't know why they chose that charity way back in the past, but last year we were able to donate over $5,000 to them, and they were able to purchase a nice big brand new professional high quality gas stove for their kitchen because they're feeding lots of kids and they do cooking. They teach the kids how to cook and do things like that. It's a really well established children's home here in New Hampshire. I believe this year we are going to bring in the Nashua Children's Home as well as one of our beneficiaries of the festival.
Excellent. Are there other charities involved too, or
no?
Webster House is
Webster House
the focus,
has been they've been the focus over the years, and we've, like I said, decided that the Nashua Children's Home, we're bringing them in as well.
Yeah, excellent. And the number of artists. So how many did you say 7? How many artists are performing at the festival?
I forgot Prakash Slim is going to be there. He was the latest addition.
Do
you have them counted?
1,
2.
It's a lot. It's a full day.
It's like 6 or 7. Yeah.
Excellent. Has it always been that many from the beginning, or is this something that's kind of grown over the years?
Well, we do try to keep it. It's a one-day festival. We try to get the gates open at 12. The last act will be getting off stage about 7:30, about when the mosquitoes and the bugs start coming out.
Yes.
So that's we definitely don't want to be there into 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night because it's a big lift. It's a long day.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun doing it. It's very enjoyable.
And when it's over too, it must be kind of a relief, right?
Oh, tremendously.
But very satisfying. Yeah. And it's cool that you're raising money for Webster House with it.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have? So there might be people listening who either don't know a lot about blues music, or maybe kind of used to be very either listening to it a lot or playing it. Maybe musicians who maybe kind of fell out of the scene a bit. Do you ever, I'm sure you have conversations with people sometimes where you have to kind of direct them at maybe resources to learn about blues artists and about the genre?
Well, we do have a blues education portion of our blues society.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about. Yeah. Tell us about that.
So Rachel Bernard actually took that over when we lost one of our board members who was headlining that. She's brought some Jimmy Carpenter into the schools. I believe was it Sauhegan or Milford. Jimmy Carpenter's you know more about him than I do.
He is a singer and saxophone player who. I'm sorry.
Oh, she's just telling you make sure you talk directly into the mic. Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, so Jimmy Carpenter he plays horn, and he went into the school. I wasn't there, but she did bring him into the school. We've done stuff with Easter Seals, doing a blues ed program with them. I haven't been involved in that, so it's not something I can speak eloquently about.
Yeah,
there's definitely that portion of what we try to do.
Yeah. Excellent. Are you already? Well, actually, let me ask it this way. So, what's the best way? Say there's somebody listening who would like to submit something for the Blues Challenge in the future or next year's, because as you mentioned, you're already, and that's how it works, right? When you're doing an annual festival, you've got to be thinking ahead, way ahead. You're already thinking about next year, right?
Yes.
So for people who want to submit something, maybe they want to get in, or maybe they just want to get involved. Maybe they want to volunteer for the Granite State Blues Society. What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
They can check out our website, granitestateblues.org. We also have a Facebook page. So reach out, get in touch.
Yeah. Excellent. And are there, because obviously, we have people who listen online from other places. I assume there's other variations. You probably don't know offhand, but I assume there's other organizations, probably in every state across the country, that has does something similar to what you do in terms of promoting blues music and educating people on it and festivals and events and whatnot. And
If they go to the Blues Foundation website, they can, if anybody's listening in from, say, Illinois, you can find your blues chapter.
Yeah.
I've been out in Pennsylvania and went to a blues jam and directed a young man to their. I said, you got to find your local blues chapter. You have to go find them and introduce yourself. Most of the states have them, I believe.
Yeah, and that's that organization you were talking about too is international, right?
It's the parent one, the Blues Foundation.
Yeah.
They have a website. They are the ones that host the International Blues Challenge.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no shortage of resources for people.
No,
online.
absolutely not.
And wherever you are in the country or in the world.
Yeah.
Right. Does that ever surprise you when you're, in terms of thinking about, wow, there's actually other countries where this organization is operating and there's actually blues. Like, it's funny to think about in a way, right? Like maybe, I don't know, France, is there a blues scene there?
Oh, yes.
Probably is,
yes,
right? Yeah.
There is. There's, and I remember being surprised the first time I did go to Memphis. There were blues players there from Japan. And it doesn't surprise me, honestly. I just never thought about it before.
Right.
That, they're from everywhere, and they come to Memphis and they just have a blast.
Yeah.
This year in Memphis, it was really cold and icy. It had snowed. Everything was just a mess down there because they're not New Englanders. So
they're not prepared for anything wintry.
And we came across a young couple. They were building a snowman, and did he say they were from France? He said, we don't get snow over there.
Oh, no kidding.
So it was kind of fun.
That's cool. That's cool, though. And you said Japan, too?
Yes, Japan, Germany, Australia,
Korea, Italy.
No kidding.
Yes, they're from everywhere. England. Oh my God. Yeah, there's just amazing. Like just sitting here, like the Sinelli brothers. They were over from, I want to say, England. They were fantastic. I love them.
Outstanding. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, because we think of blues as being, an American, and this is where it started. But
the blues roots are from. Yep.
But music is so, a music scene in any genre can happen anywhere, and I think the internet has a lot to do with that too.
Yeah.
Certainly, 30 years ago we wouldn't necessarily be talking about, there's this blues band in Japan right now. That's, but with the internet, it has made everything, it has made music truly global in every genre, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. We got to start to wrap up this segment, and we are going to play something from Nick David's band. But remind us, actually two things. One, we got to remind everybody, if they want a pair of tickets, you can get a pair of tickets to the event August 3rd. But what you got to do is contact on Facebook, Granite State Blues Society. And the first one to do that, you got to mention this conversation on this radio show, on this radio station, and you can get a pair of tickets to the event. What's the official name of the event again?
Blues on the Range.
Blues on the Range, yes. Where does
some people might remember Barn Full of Blues, the festival we had before. We moved to the Range.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Where did you used to do it?
New Boston, New Hampshire, at the 4-H field.
Okay. Why the move? Is the place in Mason just bigger, easier to?
Well, the dreaded COVID hit and changed a lot of things. And then when we went back in to try to go back to New Boston, we were unable to secure that venue for the festival. So we started looking around and came across the Range with Nicole Ruggiero, and she's been absolutely fantastic to us. It's a beautiful little venue out in Mason. Tomorrow afternoon, Frankie Boy and the Blues Express will be playing. She does a Sunday afternoon blues thing with the barbecue and blues. It's bring a lawn chair, bring your money, sit down, enjoy yourself.
Very cool.
Every Sunday until she closes in the fall.
Oh, outstanding. Okay, good to know. But yeah, so Blues on the Range, if you want a pair of tickets to that, again, contact Granite State Blues Society on Facebook. Mention this conversation on this show, on this station. Be the first ones to do it, though. So do not procrastinate. And you can come to this amazing event And again, where should people go online? What's the website, the main website for Granite State Blues Society?
www.granitestateblues.org, and you can find us on Facebook.
Outstanding. Well,
we'll be selling tickets to the festival, advanced sales until Friday.
Okay.
And those are available at granitestateblues.org.
Excellent, excellent. Well, listen, Charlene and Debbie, thank you both so much for coming in today. This has been wonderful.
Thank you so much for giving us the time and hosting us.
Oh, very happy to do it. Very happy to do it. And we will close out this segment. So this is, I think we'll play this track. I just like the title, Mind Your Mind. The band is Wicked Lowdown, and my old friend, Nick David, whom I have not seen in a very long time, but great guy and so talented. Such a talented guy. But we're going to play this. This is from his band, Wicked Lowdown. This is Mind Your Mind. And if you're listening on Saturday, if you're listening live, we've got plenty more to come on the show today. But we will close out the segment with this. And again, Charlene and Debbie, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Gratitude morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water. Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water. I be in the sky, feel like Luke when I'm walking. Walking quick, ever know that never been an option.
Poppin', I don't need security, I'm locked in. Beat it like I'm Drake, this that straight up out of Compton. Watch him, eat it to the bone just like an animal. Rappers say they sick, while you witnessing the antidote. Can it though, I can see my future and it's tangible. Told her drink this meat like all her life she been a cannibal. God, all my life I know it's going hard. Laying out these bars as I exercise her jaw. When the money call, I ain't sharing it at all. Hotter than the summer, so they never been a fall.
Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water. Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water.
Wake up in the morning, say your prayers, start my day. What's for breakfast? Oh, that's cake. Won't hesitate to clean my plate. Won't look at me. And you see that God don't make mistakes. I'm stacking for life after death. Ain't no biggie on me, my fate. For the bone of gas, that's that cash. Shorty got that water, that's that drip, drip, splash. I go swimming, skinny dipping with precision is my mission. They say life's what you make it, but that's just the way we living now.
Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water. Wake up in the morning and I'm getting to the dollars. Shawty wanna fuck me, she just saw me like it's nada. She just throw it back for that Fendi Louis Prada. She don't need no baby cause she ready with that water.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig & Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig & Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit CraigGetZoulis.com or call 603-5551-234 for a free consultation. Craig & Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Midnight. 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNH-LP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed resonance. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
You are listening to WMNH 95.3. The commander, to the supreme leader, Matzo coming down.
I still love that song. It's got that 60s garage rock vibe. That is Don't Ya by GrimRock, and there's a very specific reason we played that as we move into our third hour today of Matt Connarton Unleashed. We are live, of course, from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire on Canal Street. Today is Saturday, July 27, 2024. Jenny is here at the news desk.
Present and accounted for.
Or I should say news table. Old habits. Table. Old habits, yes. It's more of a table. And and our friend Miriam Banash is here as well. Hello, Miriam.
Hi.
And the reason we played that, so GrimRock, who, by the way, is in the Facebook live chat and sent us something, but Don't Ya is the first song from GrimRock that we ever played on the show. And I do love it. We've played some of his other music as well, and I'm sure we will today as well. But he sent us I was making sure the camera's on me. For those watching you on the Facebook, we have a package. GrimRock sends us a lot of packages of things, which we love and appreciate very much. But we're opening this live on the air.
He hangs in the office.
Yes. Actually, he does. And when we get the podcast back up and running,
I love watching you struggle with packaging.
Now, this is, I do struggle because this is very, very well taped, which is good because you don't want it coming open during the
Do you need
trip.
nails?
But, I wonder if my keys will help me open this.
That is a very good go-to. In a pinch, it does work.
I don't handle knives, as you know.
That's my job.
Yeah, because I'm a klutz, and if I handle knives, I'll end up with fewer fingers.
Yeah, I don't feel like spending a day in the ER.
Sounds like me.
Yeah.
Very clumsy.
He's dun 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 dun. I feel like we need a drum roll. Dun 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 dun.
Got it.
Don't miss the top cover. Don't miss the top cover. Inside the box, the lid. Flip it around. Flip it around the other way.
There's a pick.
And there's writing.
Oh.
There it is.
Thank you to the WMNH family for all of the support. Matt and Jenn Rocks, signed Grim. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And this is, this is
brandy new,
autographed and everything.
That's cool.
Yes. There's only a few copies that are getting signed, so we are privileged to be given a signed copy of the new Grim CD.
The new Grim CD, GR5. We'll have to take a picture with this afterward.
100% we will.
100%.
Thank you so much for sending this to us.
Yes, absolutely.
We so enjoy you.
We really appreciate it. And by the way, the track Don't Ya that I just played is on the CD. It is track number 5. And that's Grim's, so the cover model who is in the chat room is Tattoo Baby.
Yes.
Spelled Babii, which threw me. I thought it was, I was reading it earlier. I thought it was Babil. My eyes were not fully cooperating.
You were so close.
I know, I was so close. No, it's Babii, Tattoo Baby on the cover of the new GrimRock CD. And someone else is in the, so this is the message. Just a quick note. Tattoo Baby is the cover model on the new CD. Matt Kirshner is the guy who mixed and mastered the new CD. Ian Hemme is a friend from Pittsburgh in the band Silicon Kong, who will be playing and we will be playing several shows together. So, that's a cool name. Silicon Kong. I like that. We got to get them on the show. So very good. Very good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to all of you. Yes. And we'll play some more, we've featured several GrimRock tracks on the show, and we'll probably play something later in the show too, but thank you so much. Very, very kind. We love that. Support our friend, GrimRock from Pennsylvania. And, who was it that we met through him? Was it Louis Tivey?
He's brought me a few artists.
Several,
over the years.
Louis Tivey is the one I was thinking of, though, from across the pond.
Oh.
We're also very fond of. So, very cool, very cool. Miriam, is this your first time being in the new studio?
It is.
What do you think?
I like it. I kind of miss the window, but then again, I don't miss the sun glaring. So
yeah, I thought it would be weird at first.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice. I imagine it's probably easier for guests not to have like actually it was the news desk that had the sun going right into people's faces.
Right. Yes.
But,
no, this is wonderful.
Cozy.
It's nice. It's clean. Everything's new. It's very, very beautiful. And all the guests that we have on the show, they're quite impressed.
like this. I like the chairs because my feet touch the floor.
There you go.
The sofa, I could not reach the floor.
There you go.
More comfortable.
Well, we can, since we don't have our original guest who was supposed to join us is not able to make it. She had some sort of family emergency, I think. So
we hope everything turns out okay.
Well, we'll go ahead and open up the studio line if anyone wants to call in during the time that we do have in this hour, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. And, of course, hello to everybody in the Facebook Live chat who has joined us this morning. And we do want to remind you, too, we just had in the last hour, oh, here they are. Got 2 tickets available. Well, these are for Jenny and I, but they are giving away the Granite State Blues Society for their event, Blues on the Range. That is in Mason, New Hampshire, coming up 1 week from today, Saturday, August 3rd. And if you go, unless someone's already, someone may have already done it for all we know, but just in case, if you go to the Granite State Blues Society Facebook page and contact them, if you are the first one to mention our conversation with Charlene and Debbie from the Granite State Blues Society, you can get a pair of tickets for free to Blues on the Range. But you have to mention that you learned about this from our interview with them on this show, on this station. You have to fulfill those requirements. So there you go. And in the first hour, we talked with Sheila and Tony from Paperjam magazine. So that was also very, very cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Very enjoyable. Speaking that you mentioned about the Across the Pond, that's one of your special favorite places, isn't it, Miriam? Being across the pond.
I ended up in England for a year. I have a master's degree from the London School of Economics. Most people don't know that about me.
Yeah, I had no idea.
You really didn't know?
No, I didn't know that.
Right. It's a master's in
she's got
social
some good
psych,
stories.
which, is nothing related to what I do. Although no education ever goes wasted. People often will say to me, why aren't you doing more with your degree? I am doing things with my degree. I mean, a degree teaches you how to think. I don't know, takes you to new places, crazy experiences.
Yeah. Oh, well, very good.
So,
let's
see.
Idea.
Yeah, I met Pete Townsend. That was kind of my my big rock and roll story. I met Pete Townsend in London.
Oh, did you?
He was rehearsing something at a theater that was on campus, and that's the theater that I ended up going in when I graduated. So he was in there. He came out the door, and he had bodyguards, and I didn't know it was him for right away. And I just turned around and said, "Mr. Townsend, can I have your autograph?"
Yeah, did he?
And I walked by because I thought he didn't hear me, and then I turned to look back again, and he was gesturing across the street for me to come across the street. Then a car came, and he got scared that I was going to get hit by the car. And then I went and he signed an autograph with his own purple pen. So that's probably the craziest London story I have.
Was he nice? He has a reputation for being a bit prickly.
He was really nice. Yeah, he was
that's
super
good.
nice. I was surprised that he gestured me back over. I didn't really know that much except that I knew he was a big deal.
Yeah.
I like the music.
Did you run into Mick Jagger at all?
I did not run into Mick Jagger.
I only asked because I know that he attended the, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he attend the London School of Economics?
He did attend the London School of Economics quite a few years before I did. And he quit in order to become a rock and roll star. So
Yes. Oh, he never graduated?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so he makes good money, though. He made the right choice as far as London School of Economics is concerned, right? He took the best economy for himself.
Yes. Oh, Matt Kirshner in the chat says, got to run, guys. We'll be tuning in again. Love what you're doing here. Thank you. And we'd love to get you on the show in the very near future. And absolutely. They say that a lot of Mick is known for his business acumen. And I remember years ago reading that he had attended the London School of Economics and thought, that kind of explains a lot.
Right.
Absolutely. Speaking of across the pond, I just saw this story pop up about Sinead O'Connor and her wax figure. Apparently, it's been pulled because it looks terrible. Did you see this? Jenny? Yeah, this is from The Guardian. Sinead O'Connor waxwork pulled from Dublin Museum after backlash. The Irish singer's brother speaks of shock at hideous figure, which looked nothing like her. And when I look at the image in the article, again, this is from The Guardian, it looks like, reminds me of, I forget the name of the character now, from the first Star Trek movie, the woman with the shaved head. But yeah, it says Dublin's Wax Museum is withdrawing a figure of Sinead O'Connor amid criticism from her family and members of the public that it looked nothing like her. Many reacted with shock when the waxwork figure was unveiled on Thursday. The museum's team met on Friday morning and decided to remove the waxwork of the Irish singer, admitting that it can do better and pledging to create a more accurate representation. Her brother, John O'Connor, said he was shocked when he first saw it online and said it did not look like her at all. Speaking on RTA Radio's Live Line program on Friday after it was announced the figure would be withdrawn, he said he had not been made aware that a waxwork of his sister was to be unveiled this week.
They didn't even tell the family?
Isn't that weird?
It's very weird. I just sent you the picture, Miriam, so you could take a look at it too.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I don't think it looks like her. I think it's
pretty
looks generic looking. It kind of looks like a generic
the
mannequin.
name of the Star Trek. Sorry, I interrupted.
The name of the
I
what?
remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah, the character from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like,
Savik or something. I can't remember. That's the one.
Quark?
No, from the first Star Trek movie.
Oh.
The very first movie in '79. You know, the one where they had the uniforms that looked like pajamas. There's a character with
honestly can't remember.
Female with a bald head. Yeah, I can't remember.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I can't think of her name.
Yeah, the brother said, quote, "When I saw it online yesterday, I was shocked. I thought it looked something between a mannequin and something out of the Thunderbirds. I thought Sinead would have been very fond of looking well, and she certainly did. And if it was supposed to be a representation of her in her early 20s, when she did Nothing Compares to You, it just looked nothing like her. I thought it was hideous. A friend of mine said to me last night that he'd seen better in Shaw's department store in the window. There's also enough visual stuff out there in terms of videos and photos that show what she did look like," unquote. O'Connor suggested that a better way to honor his sister would be to put a statue of her in Dublin. He said it was particularly upsetting to speak about the issue on Friday, the first anniversary of her death at the age of 56. Okay, so it was a year ago that Sinead O'Connor passed away.
Yes, natural causes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was just found down.
Yeah, well, because
in her home.
There was speculation at the time that she may have committed suicide.
Because it was not. It was a natural cause.
Because her son, I think, just within...
He did commit suicide.
Yeah.
Within I think it had been like about a year or so.
Yeah.
He was very young, too.
Yeah.
She had a lot of strife in her life, a lot of pain and suffering in her life that channeled into her music, that actually promoted her popularity because people could relate to her pain.
Yeah.
In ways that nobody else had brought it out. She was very unique in her style. I think she had 4 kids, I want to say.
I don't know.
She had a few.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly positive on how many. But yeah, it's weird that they would put up something like this and unveil it, but not have wouldn't you want the family present to unveil the statue?
You would think.
Right. Yeah, I mean, unless they were thinking, this doesn't look that great. Let's just not say anything and maybe they won't notice. You know?
Really? Did you see how many people turned out for her funeral? No one's going to notice. Give me a break.
Well, you know, if you just, you keep it on the DL, you know, with the wax figure, just let it get out there organically, you know, maybe, you know, but that way, if the family doesn't know right away, you know, but it's been there for a while, it's harder to, you know, then it's like, say a year went by and the family had no idea. And then one day the brother notices. If it's already been there for a year, it'd be kind of awkward for the brother to be like, hey, can you get rid of this? It's like, dude, it's already been there a year.
The facial structure isn't even close.
Well,
I'm looking at this mannequin and looking at pictures of her and going, I can understand why her brother was upset.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe there's something about her that's just difficult to recreate as a wax figure.
I think, come on. Now they round it.
Maybe there's something about, maybe there's something about Irish people that's just hard to.
Stop it.
Hey, I can say that. I'm Irish, so it's
Here
not.
he goes.
It's not racist. I'm
Irish.
Irish.
Talking about his Irish melon.
Yes, I do. I have an enormous head, because Irish people have large
Your
heads.
poor mother.
And yeah, no kidding, huh? Yeah, she was pretty torn up about it. But
but
I realized years ago, what? No, she was like, wow, my son has a freakishly large head. That's upsetting. But years and years ago, see, I never realized it for a lot of my life. And then one night I'm watching Conan O'Brien, and he made a joke about his own very large head and said Irish people have large heads. And I'd never thought about, this is 100% true, by the way. This isn't just to be funny. This is true. And I'd never thought about it before until he said that. And I was like, wait, do I have a large head? And I went to look in the bathroom mirror, and I was like, yeah, I do have a large head. And I'd never thought about it before, but I do. And then I realized that it is true. Like Chris Matthews, I used to watch a lot of Hardball. Chris Matthews, he has a large head. He's got a big Irish melon. And who else? Tip O'Neill had a very large head. It's just something Irish people have. I mean, and then I thought, wow, I do. I have a big Irish head. I look like a South Park character. I got this enormous head, but that's okay. I need a large head to hold my enormous brain.
That's right. Oh my God.
So it's
the ego.
That's why Irish people are so
gonna have
smart.
to shove him through the door to fit him through at the end of the day.
That's why we're so smart. We have enormous heads to hold our enormous brains.
Oh my.
See, it all makes sense. But I have to say, in this picture of the wax figure, I can't see how large the head is in proportion with the rest of the body. So I don't know if they made her with a large head or if she even had a large head. I never noticed if Sinead O'Connor had a large head, but I assume she did.
Stuck on this, aren't you?
Well, she's Irish, so.
Yes, she's Irish.
So she must have had a large head. We all do.
Actually, I thought she was kind of demure,
Little
smaller in size. Yeah.
Maybe.
Not all Irish people have big heads like you, Matt.
Maybe the people, when they made the wax figure, they created her with a larger head than she actually had because they figured, well, she's Irish. Obviously, we need to put this enormous head on top of her.
Well, they did make it more rounded and less narrow than it truly is. So.
You think so? Is that your assessment?
That is my assessment. Yes.
It's too round.
It's too round.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. But my head is round, and I'm Irish.
But hers has a narrowing chin. It's not fully rounded.
Actually, mine's not fully rounded either because I have a point.
You do not have a point.
I do I have a pointy head.
It's not pointy.
I am from France. I do. I have a cone head.
This is what I've had to put up with all morning, Miriam.
Oh, no.
So the brother, he told on this radio show, he said, quote, I lost my sister, and to me that's important. Since she's not here to defend herself or to speak for herself, I just took it upon myself to contact you about it, unquote. Yeah, because sometimes, because it's not like they only do wax figures of dead people, right? Sometimes they do wax figures of people who are alive. Like somebody somewhere made a wax figure of The Rock, and I remember The Rock was like making fun of it, like, wow, that doesn't look like me.
There's a whole museum in London, Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, that's full of people who are still alive.
Did you go there when you were?
I did not that visit to London, but a previous visit to London.
Oh, okay.
Go in there.
Now, if you were to walk in there, today and they had a wax figure of Sinead O'Connor and it looked like this, would you say something? Would you be like, hey, what are you people doing?
I might mutter to myself, I don't think that looks like her.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
but you wouldn't say anything.
Just kind of walk by probably. And,
yeah.
You know, just look at the next thing.
See, that's what they were counting on. People just walk by,
just walking by,
not care. You know,
I don't know if I'd have said anything.
Yeah. I think the whole concept is kind of weird, to be honest with you. Spooky. Yes. If it's a dead person.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think it's spooky. I think
it's horror movies have been made about wax museums, and they're like
true.
A Vincent Price.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. That's what freaks me out.
Right. And so, and I think the whole premise of that movie is that they weren't wax figures; they were people covered in wax.
Right. See, that would
be very creepy.
That would be upsetting.
Wasn't there a Doctor Who episode like that?
Probably. There are Doctor Who figures in the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, which are very cool.
Ooh, I wonder how many
fun.
of the Doctor
Who's
they have.
When I first saw that, it was like I had sort of recently become aware of Doctor Who. I started dating a guy in 1979 that was a big Doctor Who fan, and I went to London in 1982, and I saw all these wax figures of all the characters and things up to that point.
Yeah. They have a wax figure of a Dalek?
Of a Dalek, yes, they do.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
I said that kind of sarcastically, but I didn't expect you to say that they do.
They have all kinds of crazy things.
Oh, they must have a weeping angel then.
Probably. I haven't been there since that.
See, now I'm on a Doctor Who kick.
Oh. Well, So there's a little bit more to this. Patty Dunning, the Wax Museum, that's a very, Patty, P-A-D-D-Y, that's a very Irish name. The Wax Museum director, who said he was a longtime friend of Sinead O'Connor. Apologized to the family. He said that the Wax Museum sculptor, P.J. Harity, delivered the figure the night before it was unveiled. He said the artist had done fantastic work in previous years, but has not been feeling well and had retired. I get it. So the artist wasn't feeling well.
And they pulled him out of retirement, apparently, to do this.
Yes.
So there might have been a little spite involved there.
Right. He was probably like, I was
retired.
I was enjoying my retirement, but now I'm resentful, so I'm going to sabotage the Sinead O'Connor wax figure. Yes,
That's petty.
That is petty.
Angry.
If I were a resentful wax figure sculptor, I would not. I would still try to do a good job. I mean, I might be mad about it, but
they are kind of creepy.
Wax figures, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They look like dead people standing.
They do, and they don't always look like the people that they're made to look like.
No.
I don't know that I was really all that impressed with very many of them.
Did you find it creepy walking through all of these?
It was creepy, and the lights are kind of low. Maybe they're hoping you're not going to notice the imperfections. I don't know. It seems like the lights were low.
That's the trick.
Did you see
dim lighting?
Did you see any that you looked at where you thought this one doesn't look quite right? I wonder if the person who created this particular wax figure had been pulled out of retirement and was feeling resentful.
I did not think that.
Yeah.
And not feeling well.
No,
and not feeling well.
Not
yeah.
even occur to me.
Yeah. Wow.
Strangely enough.
What was your favorite part of being there?
Being in London?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just curious. Was there a favorite location or just
Covent Garden is my favorite place, probably in the world. I haven't traveled that much, but London is pretty far from home. Covent Garden is like a big sort of outdoor mall, but a lot older. So really old buildings. It's kind of open, but it has a roof on it. And they have like flea market stalls kinds of things and shops. They used to have a magic stand, like they had magicians there, and they were selling the little cheap magic tricks that you could buy, and usually street performers. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's a little bit more to this. So the guy, this Patty Dunning guy said, when I had a look at the statue, I walked in to launch it, and when I saw it, I didn't get that feeling that I normally get from PJ's fantastic work. My heart sunk a little bit. We went ahead with the launch, and I didn't sleep last night, unquote. Asked by O'Connor on the radio program if the Dublin National Wax Museum was doing this to get publicity, Dunning said, quote, "No, absolutely not. The Wax Museum runs itself without publicity. We have a launch, and that's it. I had to take the decision to cancel the statue, and we'll go again, and we'll remodel, and we have to do better on this occasion," unquote. So they're going to try to make that right.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Well, very, very good. What was your favorite part about going to the Madame Tussauds?
It was the Doctor Who exhibit.
Yeah.
You're coming around the corner and you start to hear that music. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a Doctor Who thing. And then seeing, a lot of the characters, the creatures, the monsters. Davros, who is the guy who invented the Daleks. Or rather invented that. I think it's an exoskeleton for like a mutant of some sort.
Oh, that sounds frightening.
It is. It's really scary. Kids were very afraid of the Daleks.
Yes. I've never got into that Doctor
Exterminate.
Who. I've never seen a single episode of anything Doctor Who related ever in my life.
Fun.
Who was your favorite Doctor Who?
Probably John Pertwee. He was not the first one I saw, but he was super, super nice because I used to go to the conventions. I took a photo of him at one convention, and then I took that photo with me to another convention for him to sign. And Elizabeth Sladen, who played Sarah Jane Smith, was there at the con too, and he took a picture. He said, "Sarah, look at this. It's amazing. It's beautiful." And he was so excited about this photo I took. So
Nice.
that kind of, he loved fans. He loved to participate. He was always positive with people. So John Pertwee is probably my favorite, and he's from like way back. He's like one of the.
He's before the curly-haired guy, right?
Yes, he is the third Doctor. So
curly-haired guy was kind of the most famous of. I wish I could say what his name is.
It's Tom Baker.
Thank
Baker.
you.
And I met him too. I've got pictures of me with a bunch of them.
Was he the first one with the long scarf?
He was the one with the long scarf. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think any of the others had long scarves.
Oh yeah, you're right. That wasn't a trademark.
So, but he was the first Doctor that I saw. Most people, the first one that they see is their favorite, and I do love his episodes. But because of my experience with John Pertwee, he had to be my favorite. So Tom Baker is still around. John is long gone. The first three are gone now.
They should have him come in to an episode and guest. It would be fun.
That would be really fun.
Who?
Tom Baker.
Tom Baker.
Oh,
one of the previous Doctor Who's. Yeah. Although I suppose
I think
they
he's
couldn't
in
do
his
that,
90s
right?
now.
Maybe they could pull that off somehow. Well, as each Doctor dies, they disintegrate, and
it becomes
their
the next
energy
one. Yeah, they
disintegrates,
regenerate
and then
into the next
comes
one.
in as an entirely new human. It could be of any.
That way,
gender.
any actor can replace. It was a very convenient way for a new actor to come in and replace. They didn't try to replace the actor. They just brought in a new person and wrote in this brilliant idea of regeneration into the next appearance. He's always worried he's going to have red hair, but
we have a question. GrimRock is asking in the chat, did you get to see any Rolling Stones related landmarks when you were in London?
I didn't, unless you count the London School of Economics. I don't know, maybe.
Right.
I didn't. I should have taken a tour.
Didn't you get to go down to where the Beatles were, though?
Abbey Road?
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to Abbey Road.
I thought you got to go there.
No.
For some reason, I thought you
saw a lot of actors that I recognized from British television just walking down the street. People were Pete Townsend was just walking down the street.
Yeah.
Because I think Brits are a little less likely to sort of run at them.
Yes, that makes sense. They're more,
Americans are pretty brutish about ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And they comment on it. I met Michael Palin. He was Michael Palin from Monty Python. He was directing a play, and I was walking through Covent Garden, my favorite, and he was outside the theater. It was early in the morning, and I asked him for an autograph, and then I asked if I could hug him, and he said, "Oh, you Americans," and then he hugged me. So.
Oh.
And I had him sign a train ticket because he loves trains. He did a whole series about train travel. So that was kind of fun.
Oh, very good.
So,
very
but
good.
no Rolling Stone kind of stuff.
Yeah. We should play another. Let's play another GrimRock track from the new album, GR5. This is called "You Belong to Me," and then we'll come back and talk a little bit. If you're just joining us, this is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH. But check this out.
You are listening to WMNH 95.3. The commander to the supreme leader, Matzo coming down.
This is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM on this Saturday morning, July 27, 2024. Jenny is here, of course, and
present and accounted for.
Miriam is here with us, and we just decided to spin another GrimRock tune because he very kindly, if you are just joining us, and I'll hold this up again for those watching online if you can see the video. Of course, GrimRock sent us GR5, his new release, and really love what he does. He is from Pennsylvania, and we'll have to have him back on the show again soon too, but always nice. And he included this wonderful note. Thank you to the WMNH family for all of the support. Matt and Jenn rocks, signed Grim. So we appreciate that. And yeah, that was another track called You Belong UC, which we really like a lot. And we've met some great people through Grim as well.
We have. I had a curiosity question for you. I have just recently learned that this summer of music is the brat summer. Brat summer. Brat is now apparently a good word. If you're called a brat, it means that you're like a bad butt woman kind of a thing, and not a bad word. That was new to me. The youngins are saying this now, Maddie. Brat.
You'd think I would be able to keep up with it. I don't know. 5th and 6th graders are maybe a little young for it.
I actually like it. I like someone
Brat.
taking that and being like, yeah, that's going to be a good word now.
Be brats and own it.
Right?
Huh. No, I had not heard that.
This is a new term to me.
Yes.
Pitchfork Records was did a whole article about the summer, it being the brat summer or something like that. And so I, of course, had to go down the rabbit hole to figure out what the heck a brat summer was. But it's actually gaining even more in popularity for women to call each other brats, apparently. And it's a good. It's meaning you. I think you're kick butt. You're a bad butt.
I like it.
I like that too. I like the idea of that. I can live with that. I like that. Yeah.
There are worse things, right? There are much worse things people could say.
We should mention too, and I told them I would pump it up on the show. So we had recently. Just a few weeks ago, actually, we had a couple of fine folks from Sister Witch Company.
Yeah.
In Hooksett. We had Mary, the owner, and Sue, the manager. They were on the show with us. And I have been invited to participate in an event August 17th, which is a Saturday. So I'll be getting there late, of course, or we, if you're going. I don't know if you're going with me or not, what your plan is, but you're welcome to, of course. But I'm going to be doing some hypnosis at the event. So Sister Witch Company in Hooksett, there's going to be several different people there doing things, and it actually starts at noon, but again, we don't get out of here until about 1 p.m. by the time the show's all uploaded and everything. So I will be starting at 2 p.m. that day at Sister Witch Company, but you can reserve a spot. I'll be doing group sessions, individual sessions, but it is a great place, Sister Witch Company in Hooksett, and it's right on Route 3, very, very easy to find. So and a great business. And there's going to be more coming from them in the near future as well. So
stay tuned.
Yeah.
Really cool, actually.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. I haven't done an event like that in a while. Used to do a lot of events way back in the day when I was Norm Moody's co-host on his television show. We used to do some events together.
You remember him? I saw the look on your face, Miriam. Do you remember Norm Moody?
No, I've heard people talk about him, but I don't remember Norm.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of before I was aware of any of the... I mean, I grew up in Pennsylvania, so...
Oh, you grew up in Pennsylvania. Do you know GrimRock?
I don't know GrimRock, but I was curious as to what part of Pennsylvania GrimRock is from.
Do you know the Amish Mafia?
I don't.
Okay. It was
they're in Pennsylvania.
It was a reality show that I used to watch, which was very, very, in terms of scripted reality shows, that was one of the more scripted.
You know, they had. I'm sorry, my brain's all over the place today.
I remember watching another show where I think it was people who were sort of trying to leave that community.
Yeah.
And I've been to like places where in Amish country and they have restaurants and things like that, but Amish Mafia I'm not familiar with. Maybe I need to check it out.
Yeah, it was on like A&E or the Learning Channel or something. It lasted like 3 seasons, but it was so obviously fake. You could go online and look up the people and find. I mean, there were actors, playing these characters. It was pretty ridiculous. Just quickly, something I found online from musically.com. We talk on the show a lot recently about AI and how it's impacting the music industry. There's a British startup company called Major Label Artists Club, and it's setting its cap at independent artist labels and managers with a service to help them manage their businesses online. It's also thinking about the industry debates around AI technologies and has announced a partnership relating to that. The partner is a French audio tech company, Urcam Amplify. But they will be using its technology to detect and block AI music from being distributed through its platform. And I think this is an interesting development because, I mean, this is a small startup that's doing this, but I wonder if we're going to see this showing up in with other music distributors where they actually have ways to detect. That's pretty interesting.
I like that idea.
To be able to detect IA-generated music and block it from being disseminated on their platforms. But I just wonder how accurate will that be, especially if it's, like electronic music. Like, how is it? Yeah, how is it going to be able to detect? I'm curious how the software works. And I'm sure it's not perfect, but it says here, so the company in a blog post said, quote, using their technology, we will be able to scan up to 5,000 music tracks in under a minute, detecting and blocking AI music from distribution with an accuracy rate of 98.5%.
Wow.
We exist to ensure independent artists always get paid their fair share of music royalties from streams, sales, and live performances. We can't just sit back and watch as their music is being stolen to train AI music tools, unquote. That's from co-founder Mark Knight.
And we've talked about that before, about these AI companies using modern music to train their artificial intelligence with. Yeah. So then they have all of all these different artists' music in their banks, basically. So what they're coming out with, is that truly original, or is it just a mosh of what they've taken in, and it's just a computer spitting it right back out at you?
Yeah.
I mean, no music doesn't mimic other music. Every musician you listen to different things and it comes out, but it comes out in your artistry.
Right, but it's natural.
And it's your creative mind and juices that are pulling that around. But computerized music takes all of the magic out of it to me.
Yeah.
I don't want something that some computers spit out. I like the idea of somebody's brainchild coming out in a tapestry of notes.
Coming from their brain.
Yeah.
And in principle, I agree with all of that. But as you know, I just have some concerns about how the music industry and how legally, because, there's going to be laws made about all this stuff too, inevitably. How, from a practical and pragmatic standpoint, how is that all going to work? And I don't know. And I think it's complicated. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll always advocate on behalf of artists and protecting artists, but I'm not sure. Like, as you could tell, just as I was reading it, I'm already skeptical about this technology that is going to somehow be able to detect any AI generated music with a 98.5% accuracy rate. I'm skeptical. And it says here too in the article, as ever with this kind of thing, the key will be in the definition of AI music and how flexible the filters are. Entirely AI generated music is presumably what the companies want to block, rather than music being made by human artists who are using AI tools for some part of their creative process. See, that's where it's going to get.
It's going to get sticky.
The gray area.
That's where
how much is you, how much is machine.
Right.
We really should have been thinking about this a long time ago. And this takes me back to London School of Economics, because my master's thesis was public understanding of artificial intelligence. So in 1993 and 94, we already knew it was coming. It was already happening, but just, small scale. People were experimenting with it, I guess. But we already knew AI was coming.
Yeah.
But it's only in the last 2 years that everybody is kind of really thinking about it. The schools are upset. A lot of people at schools are really worried about it.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Yeah. Silicon Kong is, I guess, optimistic that this software will work. Says in the chat room, they will detect loops from original music. I utilize many electronics. They will be able to determine the difference. And GrimRock said, that was me, LOL. I was calling in to thank you for everything personally, but thank you for everything you do for indie artists like myself. Oh, you're very welcome, GrimRock. By the way, the reason I didn't pick up is you were calling my cell phone. I did see you show up on my cell phone, but if you want to call the studio line really quick, you can. We do have a few minutes left. 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. That is the studio line here at WMNH. Grim is in the Pittsburgh area of Pennsylvania, by the way. I don't think that's where the Amish Mafia was, Pittsburgh, but anyway. But yeah, it's interesting. So what are they worried about in schools, like kids using AI to
write papers? And that's
yeah.
exactly the study that I did involved asking people questions about what they understood about AI, and the people that I was living with, the woman, she was the deputy head at a secondary school, and she gave my questionnaire to some kids, and almost all of those kids said they wanted the AI to do their homework
yeah,
and to clean the house, like to do their chores and to do their homework. So this has been a long time coming, but it's
yeah.
So here it is.
Yep, here it is. Yeah. I thought GrimRock was on the phone, but nobody there. Yeah, it's a whole new world in some ways, right? I mean, I use ChatGPT in some of my work, and I find it quite helpful. You can certainly save a lot of time. With it. There's also an article here. Oh, I think this is Grim calling back. Grim, is that you? Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, GrimRock. How are you doing? Welcome.
I was going to call in just to personally thank you, for all the support and everything you and Jenn do for everybody, and putting on the show you do. And it's a great format and a great platform for people to get recognized and noticed. And it's been really cool, and I really appreciate it a lot.
Oh, well, thank you. We appreciate you. We love your music, and we are very happy to help to showcase it. And thank you so much. And thank you for sending us stuff. we always appreciate that, too. It's wonderful to get that CD in the mail, and we really appreciate it.
Hey, anytime. I'm glad that I can send things like that to everybody,
Yeah.
Always fun.
Absolutely. Hey, where should people, because time is short, unfortunately, but where should people go to keep up with everything that you're doing online?
Just go to GrimRockandRoll.com, all one word, GrimRockandRoll.com.
Okay. No, that's easy. Very good. All right, Grim. Well, hey, thank you so much for the call, my friend. And we should do a long-form interview in the future, in the not-too-distant future, because you've always got a lot going on. So we'd love to do that with you again.
Absolutely, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. All right, take care, man.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was GrimRock from Pennsylvania, and you can go to GrimRockandRoll.com to keep up with everything that he's doing.
Yeah, dropped a link in the chat room for you. If you happen to be in the Facebook chat room, you can check out GrimRock's Facebook page.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. So what's we only have a couple of minutes left, Miriam. I know it's a big question, but what's the answer, do you think, with the AI in schools? Is there a solution?
Probably understanding it better.
Yeah.
is a really good idea. I mean, they're starting to sort of embrace, well, maybe we can use it this way. So, like technology can be good and it can also be not so good. And so finding the good in it and finding ways to use it that way, and then also trying to figure out ways to avoid it being used inappropriately. So just learning about it is probably the main thing.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's going to be more and more prevalent in our society. I don't see it's certainly not going to slow down from where it's
I
at.
think that people are going to be upset about it for a while, as they are, and then it's going to, people will sort of get used to it and settle down, and maybe they'll be complacent, and then they'll, we'll lose ground, and then it'll get better again. I don't know.
By the way, as it pertains to the music industry, there is an article I'll just refer to, and maybe we'll look at it more closely in the future, but Hollywood Reporter has something that just went up. Universal Music Group CEO on protecting artists from AI, quote, "We recognize potential threats early." Lucian Grange told investors the major music label was going to the courts to protect the rights of its artists and songwriters, led by Taylor Swift, Drake, and Lady Gaga, from massive copyright infringement. It's interesting, too, how history repeats itself. It seems like some of the conversations we're having now around AI, they remind me a little bit of when, back when Napster, remember Napster?
Yeah.
When that first became a thing. And we had to have all the conversations, and the music industry had to go through all this transformation regarding pirating music, sharing, file sharing was a term we used to hear all the time. And, now here we are again, going through for a different reason, but we're going through another wave where this could really transform a lot of how the music industry operates, dealing with AI and the various legal issues that it presents.
This is harder. This is a lot harder. It's not simply like taking something and duplicating it, but this is where, you're taking the brainchild creations of multiple people and feeding it into a machine that has the ability to then translate that into something and call it new. And that wasn't there something we talked about a while back involving Taylor Swift trying to fight to keep her music from being used to teach AI?
Well, there was a story about I think it was Universal Music Group, I think it was UMG, who was threatening AI companies with lawsuits if they use UMG artists to train their large learning models. I don't think it was Taylor Swift specifically, although she might be on UMG. I'm not sure. But, and then, of course, playing devil's advocate, my counter argument was, well, and again, this is just me playing devil's advocate because I'll always advocate for artists, but I did raise the question, how is that different from a human? If I sit down and I write a song as a human,
that's your song.
But it's anything that I create, anything that I write, it has been directly influenced and informed in some way by all of the music that I've heard over the course of my life up to that point. So how is that any different?
Because you're a human being who is taking the life of yourself. It's not just the music you've heard. It's your life experience. It's your favorite color. It's where your house is located, where you've gone. It's all of that plays into your creations. And as a human being, your human creation is what we're all wanting, right? What we're all paying for. I mean, it might be more cost efficient to create music with AI, but that's not what I personally like the creativity that comes out of a human mind. With AI, you're talking about something that has the ability to remember every little thing and just spit it back out. It's taking all of those little bit of things and spitting it back out at you.
Right.
It's not creative in the same way that we use that terminology, to me, involving a human being who... It's not just, like I said, it's not just the music they've heard, because it's fair for you to say that, but it's everything else that goes along with it.
Right.
Life experience changes everything.
Yes. Well, we are out of time. Thank you, Jenny. Do you want to plug your website?
Absolutely. You can follow my craziness at JennCoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com, and you'll find links there to my new Substack.
Yes. And thank you again, Miriam, for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And
we love you.
Thank you to everyone who joined us, of course, from Paperjam Magazine, Sheila and Tony, and, of course, the ladies from the Granite State Blues Society.
100%. Oh, and thank you, Miriam, for all you do to help our young folks grow up well.
Yes. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, we got to go. If you missed any part of today's show, it will be up in just a little bit. WMNHradio.org. And we'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
You need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig and Getsoulis